April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness, strengthening families, and protecting children above all else. There are people in our own community that volunteer their time to be a voice for children who need it. I'm here today with Knox County CASA Director Denise Swink. Thanks for joining me today, Denise.
Thank you.
So court-appointed special advocates, what does that mean exactly?
So we are community volunteers that give our time to advocate for the children that are abused and neglected here in Knox County. And their time means that they go through a 30-hour training, they go through background checks, they must be 21 years of age, and then also love children. Have that passion to want to volunteer. And then once they go through that training, they will swear in and become officers of the court. And then they visit the child that they're assigned once a month. That's the requirement. And they will enter all their information of their visits, time, and what they connect with the child and what they know about the child and what they've learned about the child during that month, if their needs are all being met. They enter that into our data system called Optima, and then they also attend court hearings. They will tell the judge exactly what their wishes are, what's in their best interest, because we want to make sure those children are safe while they are in the court system. So that's kind of the overall picture of what it is to be a court-appointed special advocate. Currently, right now in Knox County, there are 180 open CHINS cases here in Knox County. That's a lot of children that have been abused or neglected, for our small community. So that's kind of what that looks like. And what our CASA program is serving is 117 of those children. We have 14 amazing CASA volunteers, but we can't serve all children here in Knox County with the amount of volunteers we have. So we want to be able to serve all children right now. 63 children are without a CASA volunteer. So, if it's near and dear to your hearts and people who are watching this TV presentation, maybe we'll pull on their heartstrings a little bit and encourage them to want to volunteer and give back to Knox County children and become a volunteer.
Right, and like you said, these children, it's hard to imagine, but they may not have a trusted adult in their life, and that's where the CASA volunteer can step in, right? And it's a relatively low time commitment. You said once a month, and then their court hearings.
Absolutely, the time that they enter their contact logs, visit a child, and attend any court hearings is about maximum 10 hours a month. But once the case goes along, you're going to spend a little less time during that case. At the beginning, you're going to spend a little bit more time on the case because you're learning who all the people are that are parties to the case, the child and who, their plans and their routines of if they're a child that goes to school or they're a child that is an infant, if they go to daycare or if they are just in the home or if they've been placed in foster care, what that situation looks like. So during the end of the case, you're going to have a little less time. So you're not going to spend up to 10 hours on a case. So, that's not that much time. We spend a lot more time doing other things in our life that can be most impactful to changing a child's story or giving back to a child in need. So we encourage people to, if it's not CASA, to volunteer in some way and making an impact in your community.
Right. So talk to me about if someone's watching this and they are interested in volunteering, what's the training process to become a CASA volunteer?
So first way to get connected with us is to fill out an application, and you can do that online at knoxcountycasa.com. That's the easiest way. Just click on the link that says apply here, and you're going to fill out the application, and then the next process would happen. Our volunteer coordinator in our office is Holly Hillenbrand. She's going to reach out to you the day that you submit your application. That's how quick it is that we respond to you. And if somebody isn't technology equipped or savvy, call us, and we are our telephone number. I'll put it out here, is area code 812-882-2108. You can call us on the phone, and we will do a written application. We want to accommodate everybody who is interested in the CASA program. So once they do that step, we'll come in and do an interview, just asking you questions about your interest, your background. So the next step is, after you've done that interview, then you can start the pre-service training with us, and we've done background checks. That's part of the process too. We do those, and then you start the training process with Holly Hillenbrand, and that takes 30 hours, but all those hours are not spent, sitting in our office. We have people come in and speak to our trainees, being attorneys, being past children who have grown up and now are CASA volunteers, or attorneys that are part of the court system and part of the process of our children being defense attorneys, as well as our judge, after they do court observations, which the cases that we do are only the people that are allowed in court are the children's parents or caregivers and the Department of Child Services, the Indiana Department of Child Services. It is a closed hearing because of the confidentiality of the children. And we want our potential volunteers to understand the confidentiality portion of what we do, because we want to protect these children that we are serving.
Right. Do you have any upcoming events, fundraisers coming up that you would like the public to know about?
Absolutely. So we have a nonprofit, which is Friends of Knox County CASA, and that's another way, if somebody's interested in becoming a CASA volunteer, and maybe serving children isn't what they're really wanting to do, there are other ways they can be involved in CASA and support CASA. This is one way, which is Friends of Knox County CASA. We have a golf outing that's annual every year for 15 years. And this is our 15th annual golf outing, and it is on May the 22nd, and it will be at the golf course here in Vincennes, Cypress Hills Golf Course. And you'll sign up at 9 o'clock, sorry about that, at 9 o'clock, and the shotguns start at 10 o'clock. And we always look forward to this every year. We have a local child come and sing the national anthem. We have youth come and help work at the golf outing. And I wouldn't say work, come and support the golf outing, because these are children that love to give back to our CASA program, and we love to see the youth out at our golf outing. And so that is a wonderful opportunity, and any funds brought in from that outing go back to Knox County CASA. So if a child is in the system and there's a need, we want to be able to provide all those needs for a child. An example of that would be if there's a medical device a child would need while they are in the system, and it's quite expensive, that they need a second device maybe while they're in the school and they have one at home, Friends of Knox County CASA can pay for that second device. Or if transportation is an issue, which we have seen throughout several of our cases, and maybe that would be what would keep the case open. We'll buy a bicycle, and that will close a case. I mean, something like that, just we can mitigate that very quickly by having Friends of Knox County CASA. So that is wonderful. The other thing I do want to bring up is just making the listeners know that neglect and abuse can be anywhere you're at, and just being aware that everyone in Indiana is a mandated reporter. So if you suspect abuse or neglect, it's important that you call the Indiana Department. And so a number that they all should remember is 1-800-800-5556. And maybe put that in your phone, because if you see a child, we need to protect all Indiana children.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Denise, for being a champion for the children in Knox County. I really appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
today. Thank you. If you feel led to find out more information about the CASA program, you can call their office at 812-882-2108.